would be incredibly useful to be able to generate a pattern for our rails and our bearing block mounts, as well as maybe some threaded inserts in SVG. I'm going to show you how to do that in OpenSCAD. The complete code is written below in the description of this video. You're going to do what you did in episode 7 and episode 10, meaning if you want to use it, you're going to go down and you're going to left click, select all the text, right click to copy to clipboard, go into OpenSCAD, which is free and downloadable. Once you've installed it, you're going to go to the editor window and you're going to paste in your clipboard, hit F6, and lo and behold, you're going to be able to generate this. And the good news is all of the parameters for this are completely adjustable. With that being said, let's go into it. We're in OpenSCAD. If you go over to the editor window on the left-hand side when you first come in, if you click on it with your left mouse button and then hit ctrl-v, it will paste in the code that you should have copied from below with the YouTube video in the description section. Once you've got that in that editor window, if you come up here and press on this button right here or hit the F6, what you should have is something that appears in your screen that looks similar to this. If this far right-hand window, which is the customizer, doesn't appear, you want to go over to window and you want to click on the hide customizer and it should appear. If all the parameters are hidden, click on the down arrow. Once you have this, everything is customizable in this. So no matter what size of rail, no matter what size of screw hole you want, no matter what your spacing is, no matter where you want these bearing blocks, no matter where you want your threaded inserts or exactly how many you want, you can adjust all of those parameters easily. Let me just demonstrate a couple of them so that you get a feel for it. So we'll start with, for example, this width. My particular rails that I have right here are 43.50 millimeters across, but say yours were 35. You could use the slider or you could just come over here and type in an exact numeric value of 35. So I'll do 35, make sure you hit enter to make it go, and it immediately adjusted both rails to that width. Let's say, for example, that you wanted to move the location of this bottom bearing block. There is a bearing block Y offset that you can do, and is kind of hidden behind my picture, I think, right here. But I think you'll see it as I slide. I'm going to slide this slider way to the left, if I get a hold of it. And when I did, you can see that both bearing blocks shifted down by this. So the space between them stays constant. If you want to change the space, then this is definitely going to be hidden behind, but the block to block edge to edge gap would be from this edge to this edge. Right now, it's at 282, but let's scoot that down to say 200. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type 200 and hit enter. And you can, this distance now from here to here is 200 millimeters. So you can change it to whatever distance you want for your particular ball screw. If you ever mess up, you can always go up here and hit reset and it will click OK and it will restore it to the original parameters that you set. Let's say you've adjusted everything to match up with all the rail size, ball screw, etc., and you're ready to save it and print it. What are you going to do? You're going to go to File, you're going to go to Export, and you're going to go Export as SVG. Pick a name for it. I would put it probably on my desktop. And once you put it on your desktop, click on it, double click with the left mouse button. It should bring up the graphic. If you hit Control-P, it'll bring up the print menu. Select landscape mode. Make sure you go to more options and do 100% size and then print it. It should print on multiple pages. Once you have multiple pages, then you can trim off the bottom edge and the top edge and match up your patterns. And you can tape them together like I did right here. That'll be very, very useful. Once you have that, also realize you can also change the hole diameters. So they're little pinpoints. The holes will still stay centered the way I wrote the program. So if you want little pinpoints, you can put brad point bits down when you're drilling it out, especially if you're using a drill press or hand drill. That can actually be more valuable. Hope you enjoy, and I hope you find it useful.